Hi, welcome to Learn English and Practice with Marie. Today we're going to do Advanced Vocabulary Builder, lesson number 139. We'll go through 10 advanced words and talk about their definitions, parts of speech, and review a couple of examples for each. We'll finish with the story so we can hear the words in context and do a quick review at the end so that we can cover those words one more time. This is a series, so if you like this video, subscribe for more. There will be more videos like this coming soon. Let's get started. First, I'll read the words. Melodramatic, surly, adequate, capitalize, boost, incite, galvanizing, prosecute, sheer, unveil. First, melodramatic. This means characteristic of melodrama, especially in being exaggerated, sensationalized, or over-emotional as an adjective, relating to melodrama as an adjective. So something that's melodramatic is over the top. Soap operas are melodramatic. Obviously, they are big, they're emotional, and they tend to be very exaggerated. But also, when it comes to teenagers, you know that they are also melodramatic. Everything's a big deal, they're feeling their big feelings, and teenagers tend to be melodramatic in many of the things that they do. Examples of this word are, the movie was so melodramatic that we couldn't stop laughing at the over-the-top acting. Her melodramatic reaction to the bad grade made it seem like her future was ruined. Surly. This means bad-tempered and unfriendly as an adjective. So someone who's surly is intimidating and really someone who you probably don't want to interact with. Also, I typically hear this word associated with men a lot more than women. Someone who's surly is intimidating and irritable and just someone who you're not likely to be able to have a pleasant conversation with. Examples are, the surly waiter slammed our drinks on the table without a word. His surly expression made it clear he didn't want to be at the meeting. Adequate. This means satisfactory or acceptable in quality or quantity as an adjective. So something that's adequate is good enough. It's not amazing. It's not exceeding any sort of expectations. It's just meeting whatever the need is. So when it comes to employee evaluations in the workplace, often there are tiered scoring systems. If someone's performance meets expectations, then the management is saying that their performance was adequate. But if someone went above and beyond and exceeds expectations, that would go beyond an adequate performance. Examples are, her explanation was adequate for now, but more details will be needed later. He gave an adequate performance, though it lacked passion. Capitalize. This means take the chance to gain advantage from as a verb, provide a company with capital as a verb, write or print a word or letter in capital letters as a verb, and there's an additional finance-related meaning. So to capitalize on something is to take advantage of it. You might decide to capitalize on a beautiful day and go to the park or go to the zoo in order to take advantage of how wonderful it is outside. Also note that as you're learning English, understanding what it means to capitalize a letter is pretty important. The alphabet has lowercase letters and capitalized letters, so you'll hear this word in that context as well. Examples are, we need to capitalize on this opportunity before it slips away. She knows how to capitalize on trends to grow her business. Boost. This means help or encourage something to increase or improve as a verb. A source of help or encouragement leading to increase or improvement as a noun, and increase or improvement as a noun. So in all of those meanings, this idea of boosting is bringing something up. It's increasing, augmenting, making something better. In general, it's a word that implies a lift. So often people are concerned with boosting their credit scores. In the United States, we have credit bureaus that assign scores that make it more or less difficult to do major financial things like get credit cards or get mortgages on homes. So to boost your credit score is to make it better. Examples are, they launched a campaign to boost public awareness about recycling. A compliment from her boss helped boost her confidence. Incite. This means encourage or stir up violent or unlawful behavior as a verb. Urge or persuade someone to act in a violent or unlawful way as a verb. So to incite something means to start something, and often it's something that involves some trouble, some drama, some action that maybe isn't acceptable to the mainstream or acceptable to the authorities. So to incite a riot is to get a riot started, to take an action that makes it begin. Examples are, spreading false rumors can incite panic in a community. His actions were enough to incite suspicion among his coworkers. Galvanizing. This means stimulating in a way that provokes action or effort as an adjective. So something that's galvanizing is provoking some sort of action or provoking something. Really, the word that came before, incite, can be very related to this word galvanizing, because a galvanizing event can incite some sort of change or some sort of movement. Take, for example, the political campaign of former President Barack Obama. He really galvanized a political movement of young voters in America because he appealed to that voter base in a way that a modern presidential candidate hadn't done in a really long time. Examples are, the coach gave a galvanizing speech that fired up the team. The images from the protest were galvanizing and quickly went viral. Prosecute. This means institute legal proceedings against a person or organization as a verb. Continue with a course of action with a view to its completion as a verb. And there are additional legal related meanings. So this word prosecute is most typically found in legal contexts. And to prosecute someone or a company means that you're having them face legal proceedings. So take, for example, instances where people get warnings in stores posted on signs where it says shoplifters will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. That's definitely a use of this word in context. Examples are, the state decided not to prosecute due to lack of evidence. They will prosecute anyone caught trespassing on the property. Sheer as an adjective. This means nothing other than unmitigated, used for emphasis, especially of a cliff or wall, perpendicular or nearly so, and of a fabric, very thin, and there are additional parts of speech with additional meanings, but we're just going to focus on the use of this word as an adjective right now. So typically I'll hear this word most often in the context of fabrics. So stockings can be sheer. Clothing can be sheer if it's not very thick and if it's a little bit see-through. So we'll encounter fabrics that are sheer in our daily lives all the time. Examples are, the sheer dress was a poor choice of clothing given the weather. The sheer cliff dropped off suddenly with no warning. Unveil. This means remove a veil or covering from, in particular, uncover a new monument or work of art as part of a public ceremony, as a verb. show or announce publicly for the very first time as a verb. So to unveil something doesn't always have to literally involve taking a piece of fabric and lifting it off the thing, removing a veil. It can be used more figuratively as well. But at an art show, an artist might decide to unveil her new work, and kind of a veil or a piece of fabric is lifted, and now everyone can see. However, you could also use this word in the context of revealing important information or announcing something. I know Taylor Swift is constantly unveiling important elements of her work, new songs, new albums, all sorts of amazing, amazing things. Examples are, the company will unveil its new product next week. The museum will unveil a rare painting in its upcoming exhibit. So let's read a story so we can have some extra practice with these words. Carlo had always been outspoken, but when he led a protest against tuition hikes, things escalated quickly. The administration called his speech melodramatic and accused him of trying to incite unrest, while a surly dean warned that he could be prosecuted for violating campus policy. Carlo knew that simply being adequate would no longer be enough, so he worked late into the night on a more strategic plan. With a galvanizing message, he aimed to boost student involvement, capitalize on social media support, and use the sheer power of unity to pressure the university into change. He reached out to student organizations, scheduled teach-ins, and created infographics that explained exactly how the tuition hikes would hurt low-income students. Rather than shouting into megaphones, he focused on storytelling, allowing real voices to speak. Carlo also held open forums so students could ask questions and voice concerns, which helped show that their movement was more than melodramatic noise. As momentum built, the university was forced to respond not with threats, but with dialogue, and when they finally agreed to a public meeting, Carlo was ready to unveil their demands with calm, confident clarity. So let's read through these words one more time, and I'll spell as we go. Melodramatic. Melodramatic is characterized by melodrama, exaggerated, overly emotional, just, over the top. Surly, Surly, means bad-tempered or unfriendly. Adequate, Adequate, is satisfactory, acceptable. Capitalize, Capitalize, is to take the chance to gain an advantage from, or it could have some financial meanings, or it can have to do with the alphabet and making a lowercase letter capitalized. Boost, Boost, means to help, encourage, increase, or improve. Incite, Incite, is to encourage or stir up, urge, persuade, typically something associated with violent or unlawful behavior. Galvanizing, Galvanizing, means stimulating in a way that provokes action or effort. Prosecute, Prosecute, is typically used in legal contexts, and it means to start or institute legal proceedings a lot of the time. Sheer, Sheer, as an adjective, means nothing other than unmitigated in a way that is used for emphasis. So to say the sheer audacity, for example. Or it can have to do with cliffs, or it can have to do with very thin fabric. Unveil, Unveil means to remove a veil or covering from, or you can use it more figuratively to talk about announcing or showing something for the first time. Again, those words are melodramatic, surly, adequate, capitalize, boost, incite, galvanizing, prosecute, sheer, unveil. Great job today. There are other videos like this on this channel, and more are coming soon. I'll put playlists and videos right here, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Feel free to check out some of my past videos. They are very similar to this one in this series, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.